Welcome to Sovereign Radio, a short-form series that could become longer.
Tailor-made for the Modular Summit in Paris 2023 this week.
Very nice. Shall we all introduce ourselves?
Hey, I'm Yaz, the head of dev role at Celestia.
I'm Chango Unchained, the host of the Cosmos radio station, Entertain FM.
I'm Anna Rose, the host of the Zero Knowledge podcast. And for this series, I'll be doing 2 interviews, one with Anoma and one with Celestia.
I will be doing 5 interviews with Espresso, Risk Zero, Hyperlane, Mantle, and Lagrange Labs.
And yes, we definitely wanted to have you be part of this video because this was your brainchild. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about how it came together.
We can start with the Sovereign Radio. Basically, I wanted the killers in the industry when it comes to the important conversation in Web3, whether it's ZK, modularity, sovereignty, like in Cosmos and stuff, to talk about the Modular Summit.
Yeah.
And Sovereign Radio basically is important to actually have those conversations about modularity because there's a gap there. And it's part of many different things that we're doing for the Modular Summit, including different tracks that are curated, a lot of good swag, one of the best venues in Paris. It's going to be really exciting.
Yeah. And now I'm curious what are you most excited about?
I'm most excited about PBS Day. So shout out to Tina from Flashbars for organizing PBS Day with a lot of interesting talk about proposal builder separation, one of the most important topics in MEV, and modularity. One of the highlight talks will be by Vitalik. And there'll be a really interesting panel at the end called The End Game, which is inspired also by Vitalik's blog post. It'll have Anatoly from Solana and Mustafa from Celestia, and will be moderated by Tarun. So I'm really excited about that as well.
I'm selfishly excited for the track that we programmed.
Of course.
We did the ZK track this time around. We have, I think, 6 great talks and 2 panels. And I will say I'm most excited for those panels because we're kind of taking this theme of modularization and applying it to ZK. So we have modularization of ZK systems and ZK architecture. What about you?
I'm interested in seeing how Celestia is going to align all of these bespoke ecosystems. So, but this is part of the course, right? We are talking about modularity and standardizing the whole stack so that we could have composable ecosystems, not just dApps within blockchains.
One of the things about it is when they asked us to do the Modular Summit this year, we wanted to make it modular, right? So how do you make it modular? You have curated tracks. So we talked about PBS Day, ZK Validator doing ZK track. We're at the Argus Hacker House, and Argus is doing the gaming track as well. So we wanted to make it modular. And from a coordination point of view, it's very fun,
Yeah, you pulled that off very well.
Yeah.
What, this concept of the modular stack, kind of where do you place this in the timeline of blockchain? Do you see this as the next step? Is this sort of a combination of everything we've learned?
Absolutely. I can give more context, but let's change. You have any thoughts?
Right. So I think that this is very obviously the 3rd generation of blockchain tech. So modular stack is the logical conclusion we would end up at, given that we have blockchain V0, which is Bitcoin, and then blockchain V1, Ethereum, blockchain V2, which is the Cosmos app chain thesis, and then V3 is ultimately the modular stack. And I think there's legs to this narrative because we have EigenLayer, Polygon Avail, these other chains that are trying to do DA. So I don't think it's going away, and this is a very important iteration, like a step function improvement for the entire space.
Yeah, and
for scalability.
For scalability, most importantly, because it's the next paradigm shift in blockchain architecture, like you were saying, when it comes to scalability. And also, Avail, Polygon Avail, is giving a talk at the Modular Summit on day 1. EigenLayer is part of a panel I'm organizing for the DevRel panel. There's a lot of different solutions for DA, and the space as a whole benefits because rollup can become really scalable, and then we can target the next 6 billion users.
After I really absorbed the architecture and the narrative and what's possible, I can't unsee the fact that over 90% of decentralized apps as we know it are going to be run on their own rollups. I don't think you need to constrain it to be apps on sovereign rollups. Apps on generalized rollups, but rather they could each have their own sovereign rollups. So that's very exciting to me.
Exactly. And if you think about it, it's better for them because they can capture all their fees that can help sustain their ecosystem rather than giving it to like the roll-up operator where there's just like an application there. So it does create that element of sovereignty for it.
So that being said, I'd be interested in seeing what Vitalik's take on this is if none of that
I think
is going back to.
I mean, here's what we believe, right? Modularism, not maximalism, right? So we, like, people say they're, competitor to Celestia, we're like, great, come give a talk, like, we're welcoming everyone because at the end, the space wins with modularity. We don't really, it's not the Celestia Summit, it's the Modular Summit. And that's what's really important for us, yeah.
Cool. All right, so thanks. And thank you for watching our video and hope you enjoy the Sovereign Radio series.
Thank you.